Hello everyone. Today we are going to start our new chapter of geography, that is resources and development. In this chapter we will see about resources and its development. Now let's the question arises, what is resources? In previous class grade 8 also you have learned about resources. There you have seen the meaning of resource means that substance which is available in the environment and utilized by we human beings to fulfill our needs. That is resources. But in this class we will see some more broader meaning of resources. What actually resource means and how that resources are utilized by us for our development. Apart from this topic, we will go through the other different resources also inside this chapter, such as land resources and soil resources. In this chapter, we will read about resources, classification of resources, development of resources, resource planning, what is the need of resource planning and how we plan for resources, land resources, use of land pattern in India, and what are the factors responsible for land degradation and the steps taken by our government for the conservation of land under the topic land resources, say, land degradation and conservation measures. After that, the last topic is soil resources, classification of soils, and the factors responsible for soil erosion and soil conservation. So, these are the different topics which we will cover inside this chapter. Let's see about the meaning of resources. As I have told in the beginning of this chapter, in your previous classes, you have learned that resources are those things which are available on this earth and utilized by us to fulfill our needs, to satisfy our requirements. But here, the meaning of resources become much more broader. As you can see in this slide, the definition of resources is written that everything which is available in our environment which can be utilized, which can be used to satisfy our needs. But what is the given here? Provided it is technologically accessible. Now the question arises, what is this technologically accessible? Technologically accessible means there should be technology to utilize that resource. For example, iron ore. Iron ore are those rocks which contains iron. It is in the ore form. But we by applying technology we are separating that iron from its ore. That is technologically accessible. Means there should be technology which can be applied to use that natural substance. This is the meaning of technologically accessible. Second one is economically feasible. Economically feasible means we should be capable to use that resource. Economically we can be capable. Related with this, I am giving you one example. Few years back, one news was came that in ocean there was a trillions of gold mine. But we don't have economy to access those gold from there. But in our country we are capable to access, we are capable to take gold from the coal mines and from the other different mines. So there is this is the meaning of economically feasible. Economically it should be possible to do that work. Another example for this economically feasible, Africa, in the Central Africa, there is a good sources of hydroelectricity by the natural waterfalls, but they are unable economically. They are not feasible for that. But in our country, in northern India and the state of Uttarakhand and the other different areas, there we are using that natural waterfalls to generate hydroelectricity. This is the meaning of economically feasible and culturally acceptable. Culturally acceptable means those resources must be accepted by the society. Here the society meaning doesn't means a particular reason. Society may be in the form of state, it may be in the form of nation. For example, with the current example, I am telling you the meaning of this culturally acceptable. The people of China are eating all the different types of animals. Why? Because their society is accepting that all things. But in our India, we are not using those all natural, those all different type of wild animals as our food. There are limited animals, limited such kind of living creatures which we are using as our food. So this is the culturally acceptable, and that is termed as resource. It means those all things which are available in this environment and used to satisfy our needs. How it is technologically accessible, economically feasible, and culturally acceptable. That is termed as resource. Even we human beings are also known as an resource. Human being is also a type of resource, and it is one of the most important resource. Why? What is the reason? Because they are only transforming these materials which are available in this earth, on this earth, into the form of resource. This is why human being is known as resource. Now what are the different types of resources? Resources are of two different types, natural resources and human resources. Natural resources are again divided into the two categories, renewable resources and non-renewable resources. Renewable resources which can be renewed again and again, and it is available into the two different forms. One is in the continuous form, another one is in the biological form, which is not available continuously. Continuous means like a flow of water, wind, sunlight, that is called by the continuous renewable resources. Biological, which we are getting from the nature, from the animals. The example of biological is a biogas, which is not continuously available, that is called by the non-renewable natural resources. Non-renewable natural resources are those which cannot be renewed again and again. Once we will use them, they will finish. But it is also again divided into the two groups. One is recyclable, such as the metallic minerals. Metallic minerals can be used for some certain time period due to the recycling process. But fossil fuels cannot be used again and again. Human resources are categorized into the two different groups, structures and quality and quantity. Example of human resources are our knowledge, our health, dams, industries. This comes under the structure and institutional resources. And quality and quantitative means our knowledge, our wills to do the work. So these all are the types of resources. Now resources are classified into the different groups. We classified them into the 4 different groups. At first we classified them into the group which is based on its origin, on the basis of origin. On the basis of origin, resources are divided into the 2 different groups. One is known by biotic resource and another one is known by abiotic resource. Biotic resources are those resources which carry life with them, which are having life, which are available in this environment and having life. They are known by biotic resource. For example, we human beings, flora, fauna, fisheries, etc. Abiotic resources are those which does not having any kind of life, which are the non-living things. They are known by the abiotic resources. minerals, rocks, this all comes under the abiotic resources. Another category is on the basis of exhaustibility. As we discussed right now about renewable and non-renewable under the types of resources. This is on the basis of exhaustibility, for how much long period they will be available on this earth. Again, it is divided into the two groups. Renewable. Renewable means renewable, which can be renewed in a new form again. That is renewable. And these resources can be renewed, can be reproduced by physical, chemical and mechanical process. For example, solar energy, wind energy, hydel energy, forest, wildlife, etc. Non-renewable resources are those which cannot be replaced, which cannot be reproduced again. In this resources, examples are fossil fuels such as coal, petroleum product, etc. And these resources takes millions of years to come in that form. It is not coming in that form within few years, but it takes millions of years. So, on the basis of exhaustibility, there are the two types, renewable and on the basis of ownership, resources are divided into the four different categories: individual resources, community, national and international. Individual resources are those resources which are owned by individual, which are privately or individual owned, such as my house, my plot, my car, which is occupied by one person, individual person. That is individual resource. Community resources are those resources which is owned by a group of people, which is accessible for a number of person, that is community. For example, public park, picnic spots, temple, church, this all comes under the community resources. Now let's look towards the national resources. National resources are those resources which comes under the political boundary of any nation. For example, India. Under the political boundary of India, whatever the resources are available, that all comes under the national resource. So, about the land boundaries, there is no issue. It is very much clear. Now, the question arises about the water boundaries. In water, till which area we will consider the resources as the national resources? This question may arise in your mind also. So, let me clear your this doubt. For water area, by the international organization, one unit has prescribed, that is the 12 nautical miles. 12 nautical miles is equal to 22 kilometer. And this distance from the coastal area of the country. For example, our country India is having a long coastline. It's a western side also as well as in its eastern side also. So, in the both side in Arabian Sea, from the coastal area of a western side, say 12 nautical miles in Arabian Sea, and in eastern side, say 12 nautical miles from the eastern coastal area in Bay of Bengal, we can utilize those resources as the national resource. Bombay High is also coming under that national resource. And that water body is known by territorial water. That water body which comes under that 12 nautical miles, which is considered as a national resource, is known as a territorial water. So, these all are about the national resources. International resources are those resources which doesn't come under these areas, under the political boundaries of any region. But these areas are beyond the area of any country, which are in the open areas, especially in oceans. For example, Indian Ocean, Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean. These are the areas where lot of resources are available, and these resources are also utilized by some countries. Now the question arises, who will utilize this resource? So for that, international organization has maintained some rules and regulations for that, and it is described that for 200 kilometers from the exclusive economic zone of the country, resources can be available, resources can be used by that country from the oceans. For example, from the Indian Ocean, India is drilling resources from the Indian Ocean, that is manganese, under this international organization scheme, because it is coming under that exclusive economic zone. So this is about the resources on the basis of and the last one is resources on the basis of the status of development. Means what is the condition of their development on that basis. On this basis also we divide resources into the 4 different categories. At first, the potential resources. Potential resources are those resources which are having the potential, but due to the lack of technology, due to the lack of economy, we are not utilizing that resource. For example, in our country, state Rajasthan and Gujarat are having enormous potential energy for the development of wind and solar energy, but it has not utilized in that amount. In northeastern part, hydel energy, enough water falls are there for utilizing or to produce hydel energy, but due to the economical problem, we have not utilized those resources. This is called by the potential resources. Developed resources are those resources which are in utilization, about which we are knowing everything and we are using them to fulfill our needs, about which we have surveyed also, we are knowing about its quantity, its quality, its stock, everything, and on that basis we are utilizing that. This is called by the developed resource. Stock resources are those resources which are available on this earth, but till now it has not been surveyed. Why? Because we are not having the technology. Due to the lack of technology, we are not aware about that technology, so that we can utilize those resources, we can survey about that resource. For example, water is there. We all are knowing that water is a compound of hydrogen and oxygen, and on this today's world, oxygen is required by us, but we don't have the technology to separate that water, hydrogen and oxygen from that water. Due to that, we don't have any such kind of technology, we don't have the knowledge of any technology by using which technology we can separate this hydrogen and oxygen from water and utilize these all things for the other different purpose, so that water is considered as a stock resource. And the fourth one is reserve resources. Under the reserve resources, we considered about those resources about which we are knowing everything. We have surveyed also, we are knowing about its quantity and quality also. We are knowing about the technology also, by putting which technology we can use those resources. But after then also, we has not been started using those resources. We have kept that all resources for the future generations, for the next different time period. That is called by the reserved resources, the resources which are reserved. So today in this class, we have learned about resources. After that, what are the different types of resources, natural and human resources, and then after classification of resources. Now we will cover about, on the basis of above topics which we have covered, we will solve this question answers. Whatever the different topics we have covered, this worksheet is on the basis of that topics. So you should solve the answer of these all questions. Thank you to everyone.